Ranked can be a very tough place for a lot of people. They aren't sure how the game works, what strategy is the best, or just how to gain points in general. Well, don't worry because that all stops today. Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the strategy used by Last Split's #1 Predator squad and how you can potentially build your own playstyle to climb. I want to mention Messiah's team because with this strategy, his team was able to gain over 9,000 RP in 24 hours. And this strategy was used on Olympus, but a lot of it can easily be transferred over to Kings Canyon so that it can help you out this split. If you are able to implement this strategy, it will definitely improve your rank climbs, but another way to ensure a better time climbing is checking out the GameLeap website right now while we are having a 50% off sale. If you use code SPLIT2 over there right now, you get a membership half off and access to our Predator level guides going more in depth about Apex than any YouTube video you'll find. We have so many aspects of Apex covered that no matter what you're struggling with, you will be able to find a solution with tons more guides on the way. But that isn't even the best part. I have personally gotten message after message from people wanting me to personally coach them. So right now, if you click the link in the description, get a membership, you will be entered in a draw to win a one-on-one coaching session with me. So go now, get a membership, or I'll unmack your cheese. And I know that was a lot talking, so let's jump right back in with Messiah's strategy. The first thing that they would do is always look for a solid drop spot. The drop spot is the foundation of your entire game, and you need a good spot to have a good game. A lot of times they would choose to go for bigger POIs with a lot of loot options because they want to be stacked up as much as they possibly could be. They would be fine landing with teams and being contested because that just meant early KP for them. His squad always had shooters on them and they are very confident in taking fights, so they don't mind the pressure. That just means that they have to worry less about things as the game continues to go on. And this seems all pretty standard for a lot of people, right? Land, loot, possibly fight. What's so special about this team that they were setting records? Well, it's what they did during the mid-game that made them really stand out and kind of rocked a few boats in the community. If their landing location didn't have crafting, they would beeline it for a new POI with a crafting system. Loot anything and everything along the way to pick up crafting materials and have as much as they possibly could. They would then get to the new POI and craft for as long as they needed to in order to get stacked up on loot. Crafting in Apex is extremely overpowered and not a lot of players take advantage of it. The storm isn't actually as scary as people make it seem to be, and with the right use of heat shields and timing on medkits, you can last in storm for a while. On top of that, you can use tridents, jump towers, Valk ult, and a bunch of other things to help you make rotations to get out of storm and not have to worry about things. Obviously, you won't have the tridents on KC, but I feel like I have to mention them. And using this technique, Messiah's team was able to wait out a lot of the mid-game third parties. Olympus and KC are very known for their third parties, and during the mid-game is where a lot of them happen. But if you are nowhere near squads because you're in zone, then you have nothing to fear. Teams will not be pushing into you. So with that, they were able to sit in zone, craft, and make sure that they had everything that they needed for the rest of the game. They could then make a rotation in a zone and play for the end game. And their endgame strategy did change from time to time. If they were close to the endgame circle when they came in, I did see a few times where they would just sit and wait for people in the final zone. But if it was a ways away, they would look for fights and kill more people. They were never set in stone and could adapt to certain situations that the game threw at them. I see a lot of players making this mistake when they play ranked. A lot of them have one goal in mind and can never adapt to things when they don't go their way. If you're trying to play zone and you can't get there because a team is blocking you, you have to understand how to change your playstyle to then match your current situation. But then there's people on the flip side who have absolutely zero plan and just run around and seem like chickens with their heads cut off. They just do whatever they want to. This game does have a certain level of planning required. You can't just go out there and do whatever you want and hope to climb. That way you will become hard stuck. That is another great reason as to why you should be picking up a GameLeap membership. If you win the coaching session with me, I will be able to see how you play ranked and make sure that your planning is in order, so that you never have to second guess a decision in ranked ever again. The big thing about this is Messiah's team went into every game understanding how they wanted to play. They all knew what the plan was because the main goal never changed. They were so comfortable with each other's playstyles that even fighting for the #1 pred spot, they were able to just have random banter the entire game. Even though so much was on the line, they were still able to have fun and enjoy themselves. Now, that is just one example of a way to gain RP and climb, and this was actually looked down upon by a lot of people in the community. Because Messiah's team was not fighting constantly and really picked their fights carefully, some people didn't think that was a good way to play. And I'm not here to argue that. This got them to the #1 spot, so it worked, and others can possibly make it work as well. That's all I'm here to do, is just pass on information. But if you are interested in forming your own playstyle in climbing, using your own methods, here are a few tips to help you out. #1, what is your goal? Are you trying to win the game, kill a lot of people, just have fun? What are you trying to get out of the game that you're about to play? A lot of things change based on that. #2, once you figure out what your goal is, you need to understand what kind of drop spot fits that. If you're going for wins, drop far away from people. You don't want to risk fighting off drop. That way you can loot up and plan out a safe rotation. But if you're going for kills, just drop hot and chase teams down. #3, you have to work around the mid game. Like I said, this is where a lot of fights will be getting third-partied, and those end games very quickly. You don't want to be sent back to the lobby. So sometimes it is best to have a plan for fights or even avoid them altogether. There's no shame in not fighting. And #4, know how to play endgame. I've done a lot of VOD reviews and tips on this channel helping people understand how to play endgame. And with that, you can then manipulate teams into doing what you want and make endgame circles a lot easier. So if you don't know how to properly play endgame situations, go check out some of those videos after this one. Those steps are the basic building blocks of forming your very own strategy and climbing the ranks. Over time, you will add to it or take away from it, forming and molding it into your own as you grow. But it is very important to have that basic shape outlined, and that is a huge part of playing Apex, and it will help you adapt when the situation arises. So always think back to those steps when planning out a game and then go from there. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. With how crazy ranked has been lately, it never hurts to have some more wisdom about climbing thrown at you. It does take a little while to form out your own rank strategy and figure things out for yourself. It is not an overnight process. So take a few things from Messiah's team and learn what works for you and your squad to build upon, then start really climbing. Kings Canyon is a weird map for ranked. You would be surprised the amount of random things that can work, so don't be afraid to try stuff out. Who knows, maybe you'll even pioneer a new technique and I'll be talking about you the next video. But if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Like 82% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed yet, so smash that sub button, it's free. Thank you guys all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.